good day. It is I, Karma Ofikio, and welcome back to day 4 of Social Media Event Bootcamp. As promised, I'm going to be covering Facebook for your event promotion today. Now, before I even get started, really, I need to go over the pre-event because you're going to need to decide whether you're going to actually do a one-off Facebook event or on an event page, actually, or if you're going to create a community page, or if you're going to create a group, or if you're going to do 2 out of the 3. Now, I'm going to go over all 3 and why I think they're good, and then you can decide, right? All right, so if you actually decide to create a Facebook event for this, you'll have to keep in mind that you can only set perimeters as to how much time for your actual Facebook event. It doesn't allow you the opportunity to create it for years to come, so it has to have a specific cutoff date. So if you're going to do a one-off event, that would be perfect. But if you're going to have an event that is either quarterly, yearly, biannually, then that may not be a good option unless you create a group and or a community page for Facebook. Now, here's the thing about that. With the upgrade to Facebook Live, it's really not necessary. And I'm not exactly sure, but I mean, if I'm thinking like Mark Zuckerberg, I wouldn't keep Facebook event pages around a long time because they're really like not as convenient as actually starting a group and then hosting all your information in that particular group. Which brings me to groups. If you set up groups for your actual event, then you can invite everyone into that particular group. Your speakers, your vendors, your staff members, additional event planners, your one-off people, all of your attendees can be in that group. It's a really, really great place to address concerns, to cover customer service issues, and to grab really great quotes and or pictures about your event. So that's one thing that I would suggest. And then if you have a group also, like I said earlier, then you can actually do one-off events. You might want to do a ask the speaker event, or you might want to do a behind the scenes event, and it all can happen within your group. The second way to promote it on Facebook would be to create a community page. Now, if you create that community page, you have to have a live strategy for it because Facebook is really funny. Their algorithm is really funny about you posting or staying on it at least an hour or more a day, and the algorithm will not allow people to see the information unless it's super duper active and everyone has their notifications on. Excuse me. Unless everyone has their notifications on. So you're going to want to make sure that if you create it as a community page, that you're posting, that your live strategy is on point, and that you continuously give it content long after the event is over. So what I suggest, if I were to be your content strategist and or social media manager for your particular event, is to create a group and a community page. Now, the reason that I say that, I wouldn't necessarily do the one-off events because I could go live within your group, or you could go live within your group, or you could go live on your community page. And yes, you can do it on your event page, but like I said, this is something that you're going to want to continue to do, even if somebody has a birthday. And I'm trying not to digress. Even if it's a birthday, you might want to continue to do birthdays on Facebook. The only thing that you probably wouldn't want to do is weddings. So, unless it's on a community group page. Okay, so now I'm going to reel myself back in. So here are a couple of things that you'll want to remember when you decide to do Facebook for your events. Number 1, create your page very quickly, your community page and your group very quickly. And that's before you send out any additional information. So you should have your hashtag done. That's if you don't have a very strong hashtag of your own. You're going to want to have your hashtag done. You're going to want to have your Facebook and your Facebook community page and your Facebook group before you put out your very first piece of material. Why is that? Because you're going to use Sniply, Google, or Bitly to create a custom link to add to your thank you page. You remember that thank you page we talked about on day one, aka your receipt page? Right below where you say, thank you, here's your receipt, thanks for signing up, this is your confirmation. You're going to receive 8 emails about this event up until the day of the event. You're going to say, join our Facebook page or join our Facebook group here, and put those 2 links or the 1 link, depending on how you decide to structure it. Join our group here. And on all the rest of your materials, including your graphics and things of that nature, whenever you tweet it out, you're going to remember to say join our group or join our community here. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, you better have a go live strategy. If you're going to promote your event on Facebook, you want to go live. And it covers everything like I said in Periscope. Oh, I haven't done Periscope yet, have I? Ding! I'm doing Periscope tomorrow. Okay. I let the cat out of the bag early. And I'm actually may cover, what I'm going to say is if you decide to do Periscope, the same rules apply for Periscope, Snapchat, and Instagram stories. Okay, so back to Facebook. What I was saying is you better have a go live strategy, because going live and your go live strategy has to be for more than 5 minutes, because right now statistics say that going live on Facebook, you need to at least be live for more than 5 minutes. So, and that also applies to Periscope. So you've got to be willing to go for more than 5 minutes. So all of your behind the scene coverage, all of your pre-event coverage, what flowers you guys might want to pick out, the floor plans, walking the event space, that type of thing, you'll want to go live on. I'm looking at my bullet points just to make sure that I'm covering everything. Okay. One other thing that you're going to want to put in your your live event strategy. I have a real bad habit of talking too fast. Is you're going to want to do your live openings and your live closing of your events. Okay? And the reason that it's important is because for those people who decided not to come, who couldn't afford to come, who just couldn't make it, them seeing your opening and closing ceremonies makes all the difference. All the difference as to whether or not they're going to start saving today, meaning during the opening, for next year's event. Oh, one last thing. Try to keep your events around the same time every year. I know that sounds like a no-brainer, right? Some of us, we get so caught up in doing other things that we forget. But if you can kind of try to make it around the first week of that month of every year, or the second week of that month every year, then people can basically plan out a vacation around it, or something like that. But if you have it every, different months every year, it kind of gets confusing and people don't know when to schedule. All right, that's it. That's it for Facebook. Tomorrow, join me, because I've already gave you guys the answer. Boo. Okay, but tomorrow, join me for Periscope. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Thank you so very much for sharing this broadcast. Oh, and if you haven't shared any of the last 3 days, please do so. It would help me tremendously. And thank you guys for sending me direct messages. I really enjoy that because that gives me an opportunity to see what else it is that you want. Well, from my house to your house, I wish you all green lights. Namaste.